Robots walk all over the movie screen, but will it be a reality here on Earth, and when? Well, maybe sooner than we think, maybe right now, thanks to Honda's Humanoid Robotics Division with their recent Asimo project. Now, we welcome Jeffrey to the Screensavers.
Nice to be here, Leo.
So Honda's building these robots, but there's many people all over the world working on it. How's that working?
Well, 18 years ago, Honda began looking into the area of humanoid robotics.
Right.
Could we create a robot that could work in a human environment? And now the outcome of that research is Asimo, the world's most amazing and most advanced humanoid robot that stands 4 feet tall, is able to...
Little guy.
4 feet tall, that's right. Huh. And very intentionally 4 feet tall.
He's not, you know, when you look at him, he kind of looks like the robot in The Day the Earth Stood Still, who was like very tall, but he's not. Why is he
saying
so...
he? Why is that?
It.
Yeah.
Well, is it a he or is it a she?
Neither one. Asimo is just technology.
Isn't it? Okay, there is Asimo. The thing that's amazing, I mean, this looks like a guy in a suit because he's walking, which is not something we normally see robots doing.
And it's something we all take for granted. If you think about what's involved in not only walking, but standing, all the muscles and ligaments and tendons that are necessary, and we've created that mechanically. And the reason that this is such an achievement is that we believe that now that Asimo has this bipedal capability, that it can navigate a human environment. After all, we've created the world around us.
Stairs
To fit the human shape.
Yeah.
And we looked at all kinds of shapes that might be appropriate for a helper robot like Asimo. And it so happens that the human shape is the ideal shape for a human environment. So hands and feet and the ability to ascend and descend stairs, walk sideways, walk quickly, walk slowly. All those things will help someday Asimo really help people in need.
Not necessarily the ideal shape for a robot designer, though, right? I mean, making a humanoid robot is tough.
And it's very tough. Again, the issue of walking is very, very challenging.
Yeah.
Many people who are looking at robotics focus on the software first.
Right.
And we focused on the hardware first, giving the ability to walk. And once we created that, and if you see some of the early footage of our robotics, and I think you've got some of that on file, you'll see that it's really a focus on the legs. And you'll see that it's really a focus on the ability to, again, walk forward and backward, and that's the key.
Come on, Jeffrey, there's a kid in that suit. You got it. It looks so humanoid and so lifelike. It's really mind-blowing.
It sure is. And one of the reasons we have Asimo on tour right now, all across the United States, on a 15 cities tour to science museums and universities around the country, is because Asimo is one of those things that really has to be seen to be believed. Yeah. People are jaded. They're used to computer-generated animation and R2-D2 and C-3PO, but Asimo is real. And we show it on a raised stage so they can see that there's nobody underneath.
It's kind of spooky. Okay, I understand my legs. You didn't have to have 2 arms and a head, though, right? I mean,
well, it so happens that these things and this works in our environment.
Right.
So Asimo's cameras are in its eyes, and it has opposable thumbs and is able to pick up and carry light objects. So that works around the house.
Because the house is designed for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so why is Asimo 4 feet tall? You asked me that earlier. A person confined to a bed or a wheelchair would not want a 6-foot robot walking around the house. It's eye level. Right. So Asimo is the perfect size for turning on light switches, for opening doors, and we hope someday it's going to be Asimo, see who's at the door, Asimo, get me my medicine, Asimo, walk the dog. Did
you have psychologists look at the design, too, to make sure it was comfortable for humans? Was that part of it?
Well, if you look at Asimo, you'll see and you'll understand that it's a complex infrastructure of wires and motors and algorithmic equations, but it is also undeniably and unequivocally cute.
Yeah.
And it's cute by design.
Yeah.
It's cute because we believe that a robot's appearance may be a key to its acceptance in society.
Absolutely.
And so far, we've taken Asimo on tour of the United States now. You should see the kids.
Right.
Young people are literally on their feet.
I bet they are.
On their feet, laughing and cheering and clapping when Asimo goes through its routine.
It's a little bit of science fiction. Let me ask you about the legs. You said it's hardware first. So it's not a lot of sophisticated software. Is it mostly mechanical, the actual walking motion?
Oh, it's both. Asimo probably has some of the most sophisticated microprocessors in the world in its backpack, and that's where they're located.
That's where all the brain is.
Right. Yeah. But 26 motors throughout its body. Right. And it's both a combination of hardware and software, but really both.
Balancing must be difficult,
Balancing is difficult. Balancing is difficult for you and me, if you think about it.
Of course.
So when Asimo is standing, It is constantly balancing and adjusting to changes in topography, changes in. I mean, it's balancing just like you and me. It's not a static process.
Is it using gyroscopes?
Yes, gyroscopes.
So it knows spatially where it is and how
yes,
it's moving.
And as you'll see in some of the video, as it does a figure eight or turns, this is predictive movement control. Yes, it can balance on one foot better than you and I can. That's for sure.
The arm movements are very lifelike and humanoid.
Yes.
Again, intentional, or is that functional?
Well, that's a matter of Honda's fluid mechanical ability, and we've come up with that kind of science, and we think that, again, this is best for helping people, and that's why we created Osimo.
Yeah. So the plan is it's a helper robot
yes.
for people who need help getting in and out of bed or getting something to eat or answering the door. What beyond that do you see?
Well, many applications are potentially. Again, we do think that a helper robot will be first, but someday Osimo may be fighting fires, going into areas that are too dangerous for human beings. And who knows, the sky's the limit for that. Changing its ability to work in a different environment is not that difficult. Adjusting its ability to be waterproof, for instance, won't be that hard, or fireproof won't be that hard. It's just a matter of getting it to balance and getting the software right so it can respond. Osimo is voice activated, and it will respond to voice prompts and hand prompts, and it'll memorize up to 10 faces. So if, for instance, in the future, mom and dad and the kids have Osimo in the home, Osimo memorizes their faces and will follow their commands, but not anyone else's. So we say that Osimo won't follow strangers.
Interesting. Did you build in Asimov's rules of robotics into it, or anything like it?
That's a very good question, and we've talked to ethicists and scientists and people who think about those things, and we created Osimo, and Osimo will be under our control.
There's no problem there.
We're not worried about that.
Does Osimo come from Asimov?
No, there's really no connection to it. Osimo stands for Advanced Step in Innovative Mobility. It's an acronym. Also, the word ashi in Japanese means foot forward.
Ah. Yeah. Now, Honda obviously must see this as a business. Is this the idea from Honda? Are they looking at this as a business?
Potentially in the future. We're not there yet. Right now, Osimo is on an educational tour around the country to introduce it to students and encourage them to get interested in the sciences. But someday, we believe that Osimo and these robots like this will be used in households in really many tasks that can be helpful to humans. That's our job.
They anticipate you get a price point to this 4-foot robot, something like a car? I mean, in that area? Or, well, I mean, these are expensive now, I'm sure.
Right now, Osimo is about $1 million a copy, and that's probably prohibitive.
Yeah.
But Honda has some little bit of expertise in mass manufacturing. So when we can get the cost down in the future and mass produce Osimo, then people will be able to have this technology in their home, and it'll hopefully help them.
I'm signing up. I don't need help. I just want one. They're so cute. Osimo.honda.com is the website, and there's a contest online for schools to get a visit from Osimo.
Yes, go to osimo.honda.com and write in. Your school can write in under the sponsorship of a teacher, and the winning school, Osimo, will visit the school and stay there and demonstrate it. It'll be wonderful.
I think that sounds
Let's encourage students
great.
to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Please go to the website and do that. Jeffrey, it's been a real pleasure to meet you and to meet Osimo. If you want to read the top 6 facts about Osimo, head over to thescreensavers.com. We've got an article there. And, of course, stay here. More Screensavers coming up right now.